I know I just did my summer seasonal video last week, but I wanted to talk about a recently completed spring series that I fell in love with. And if you didn't watch it, this is me recommending it to you. The name of the series? I Made Friends with the Second Prettiest Girl in My Class. Or as I like to call it, How to Use Philosophy as a Seduction Technique. Welcome once again to Musings by Danon. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Danon. I'm currently reading over 600 manga and light novels, and my two favorite genres are fantasy and romance. My background is in English literature. For those who don't know, English lit is basically the study of applied philosophy, which parallels psychology. So to be clear, I'm not a psychologist, nor am I a philosopher. But there is a lot of overlap between the three, which is why I need to start off explaining a couple of things. If you're already familiar with these concepts, I apologize, but they are necessary for the discussion. Oh, two more quick points. Please remember to like and subscribe, and consider this your spoiler warning for I Made Friends with the Second Prettiest Girl in My Class. Maslow's hierarchy of needs is a philosophy proposed by psychologist Abraham Maslow. It purports that there are 5 levels of needs in order for humans to exist. Later on, diagrams simplifying this idea made it into a pyramid, with the more base needs at the bottom and the higher needs at the top. The idea behind this is that you can never reach the peak of your needs if your base needs aren't seen to. The 5 tiers from top to bottom are physiological, safety, love and belonging, esteem, and self-actualization. Physiological needs are, like the chart says, the most basic of needs: air, food, sleep, water. Safety has to do with security, having a place to sleep at night, knowing you and your belongings are protected, your health. Love and belonging should be pretty obvious. Romantic, platonic, and familiar relationships are all important, and I don't think I need to explain why. Esteem, having confidence in yourself, but also knowing that others rely on you, is absolutely a need. Finally, self-actualization. The ability to freely express yourself through creativity, the freedom to be yourself, is the highest of needs. But it cannot exist without the other 4 holding it up. Who cares if you can draw a cute picture if you don't know where your next meal is coming from? Who cares how good the sex is if you don't have a place to call home? And what does respect mean if you don't have your health? Now, this isn't the first time I brought up Maslow's hierarchy of needs on this channel before, and it probably won't be the last. Previously, I did a video explaining why I don't have a problem with harems and isekai. When you see to a person's needs, they are grateful to you. Sometimes those positive feelings can take a romantic turn. In a medieval fantasy where it's kill or be killed, there are no social safety nets like most of the world has today. There are no food banks, homeless shelters, programs to help people get on their feet. Taxes pay for lords to send their armies out, not for police work or fire department or roads or public education. Okay, that might not be too different, but I digress. The point is, in a medieval society, it is easier to provide the first 2 levels for multiple people when you're a hero with a cheat skill or 3. But in today's society, where those first couple levels are seen to via societal welfare, providing those basic needs isn't enough. Yes, I'm talking to you, self-styled alpha males. Step up your game. Now, the second point is also psychology-based, but it's more sociology. A few years ago, there was a question put to women on the internet. You're alone in the woods. Would you rather run into a random man or a random bear? A lot of the women chose bear. To be fair, so long as the bear isn't hungry, most people survive bear encounters. Note, I said encounter, not attack. Now, a lot of men got upset about this, but I'm not one of them. I thought the answer was sad, but also understood where these women were coming from. Some men tried to come up with snarky responses, but most of them fell flat. In fact, all but one fell flat. The only one that didn't come across as sexist was this question. Would you rather tell your feelings to a woman or a tree? That one hits hard, and it hits close to home. I've had past relationships where I've confided in partners before and been betrayed. I also know a lot of men who have been betrayed by their partner. At the same time, I've known a lot of women who've been assaulted, so both questions are sad and, at the same time, important. But why did I bring these things up? For those who have seen I Made Friends with the Second Prettiest Girl in My Class, you already know the answer. On the first day of class, Meihara Maki decided he wasn't going to hide who he was. If he made friends, great. If everyone thought he was a weirdo, fine. He was done hiding. During his class introduction, Meihara announced that he loved spending his Fridays watching bad monster movies, eating pizza, drinking cola, and playing video games. Most students snickered, but one girl, Asanagi Umi, seemed interested. A week or two later, Meihara is at the video rental place. For you Gen Zers watching this video, you used to have to go to a store to rent a movie. They would charge you for a couple of days and then charge you even more when you forgot to return it. Anyway, he goes to reach for a movie and Asanagi reaches for the same movie at the same time. The two get to chatting and she winds up coming over to his house. They eat pizza, drink cola, watch a bad movie, and play video games. And this goes on for months. Every Friday, she comes over to his house. Amami Yui, the prettiest girl in the class and Asanagi's best friend, figures out what's going on. She's a little jealous that her best friend is hanging out with someone else, but understands that this is Asanagi's time. Monopolizing her friend's time would be rude. So while the three start eating lunch together at school, Friday nights are still for Meihara and Asanagi to hang out. Back in junior high, Asanagi and Amami had a couple of friends who it seemed wanted to cut Asanagi out of the group. She was so traumatized by that incident that she decided to go to a different high school. Amami followed her because even though she is a bit of an airhead, she's a good girl with a good heart. And Asanagi is her best friend after all. For months, Asanagi comes over every Friday to Meihara's house. Remember, the Japanese school year starts in early April. One night in December, Meihara walks Asanagi home, and she confesses to him. She then kisses him on the cheek. For the young and inexperienced watchers, this is all because he chose to hang out with her over Amami, the prettiest and most popular girl in class. Oh, he chose me? Wow, I must love him. No, that is a shallow reading. Remember what we discussed earlier about self-actualization? Meihara created a space for Asanagi to be herself. Somewhere she could pig out on pizza, play video games, and watch some of the dumbest shark and crocodile movies ever made. A place where she could be herself. And that is why she fell in love with him. But what event seals the deal for Meihara? Clearly he likes her, but is it the like of a friend or is it romantic? For years, Meihara's been alone. His mom works all the time, his parents divorced a year ago after years of misery, and the only time he isn't alone at home is when Asanagi comes to visit. And then he goes to have dinner with Asanagi's family. Mom, dad, big brother, everyone is there. The family is jovial and teasing, just like Asanagi. And the tears start to flow. Meihara freaks out and runs away. He doesn't know why he's crying. He's just overwhelmed by his emotions. Asanagi chases after him. She doesn't ask why. She doesn't demand an explanation. She doesn't make fun of him for having feelings. She just makes a space for him to be vulnerable. She holds him until he's cried his heart out, and then moves on as if nothing happened. She became his security. She has created a home for him in her presence. A place where he, too, can be himself. He can be vulnerable and weak, and she won't make fun of him for it. And in my opinion, this was the deciding factor for why Meihara fell in love with Asanagi. Now, this isn't the only series that follows this pattern. Let's take a look at The Angel Next Door Spoils Me Rotten. Sheena had nothing. No family, no close relationships. Her safety and physiological needs are seen to, but she was told by her mother that she was going to get cut off as soon as she graduated. The only person she was close to at her family home was the servant who taught her how to cook, but now she lives alone. Meanwhile, Fujimiya escaped the trauma of his hometown. He's made a couple of friends since moving to Tokyo, specifically Akazawa and his girlfriend Shirakawa, but that's about it. He mostly keeps to himself. But after a series of incidents, Sheena and Fujimiya start helping each other. They give each other a place of belonging, which then helps to build up each other's self-esteem, culminating in their mutual self-actualization. Fujimiya creates a space where Sheena can self-actualize, while Sheena has helped build up Fujimiya's confidence to the point where he can self-actualize. And sure, they have some embarrassingly cute moments along the way, but that's what makes rom-coms worth watching. At the end of the day, they each help each other become better people, which is why this series is so beloved. So, if you've not seen either of them, give them a watch. Season 2 of The Angel Next Door Spoils Me Rotten just ended, as did Season 1 of I Made Friends with the Second Prettiest Girl in My Class. Go give them a watch. Hey Crunchyroll, I'm not sponsored, but if you're listening, send me an email. Now, if you're not planning to use these techniques to get yourself a romantic partner, by all means, please do so. But this isn't a one-and-done type of deal. It takes consistent effort to maintain someone's self-actualization, as well as all their other needs. This isn't a guide to having a one-night stand. Using psychology to trick someone doesn't work, at least not in the long run. Ensure your partner's needs are met and communicate your needs as well. If you do, everything should work out. Mostly. What about you? Can you think of any romance series with good examples of Maslow's hierarchy? What about good romance anime that I should do a video on? Leave a comment below. Thanks for tuning in. Once again, a huge shout out to my editor Cute Stuff. I couldn't make these videos without her. If you'd like to hire her to edit your own videos, she can be reached at cutestuff.edits@gmail.com. Link is down below. If you're looking for ways to support the channel directly, you can head on over to patreon.com/Danon. There are several tiers to choose from. You can pick an anime or manga for me to do a video about, or you can join our monthly manga club. I also want to give a quick shout out to all of my patrons: Waffles, Marcus, Brett, Roxy, Alex, Robert, Pi, Kazaris, Patrick, Boomy, Oscar, Justin, Sleech, Luke, Mr. Salty, Daniel, Bryan, and Enra Waka, Telethia, and Azander. You guys are awesome. I post anime or manga videos often, or you can click here to watch additional videos. Again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you all again next time on Musings by Danon.